There comes a moment in your life when you realize that reality is not what it appears to be, that what you see is only an echo of what you once imagined. Tonight, I want you to suspend every doubt, every rule you've ever learned about how long things take. Because in this very moment, as you listen, you are about to witness the most extraordinary truth: your lottery win, your breakthrough, your abundance can manifest in 1 hour or less. This is not magic. It is not luck. It is the divine law of consciousness that has always been at work, quietly responding to every image, every emotion, every conviction that lives in your mind. The lottery is not outside of you. It exists within your state of being. When you enter the vibration of having won, the entire universe rearranges itself to reflect that inner victory. You will soon understand that the power that writes the numbers, that moves the world, is not in chance. It is in you. And when you truly feel this truth, you will not wait for your miracle, you will command it. For the unseen forces are listening, and they obey the one who dares to believe that it is already done. Imagination is the true, because everything that exists in your life right now, your home, your relationships, your finances, your successes, and even your failures, was first created in imagination. Most people believe that imagination is mere fantasy, a playground of idle thoughts. But imagination is the birthplace of reality itself. The outer world is only a mirror reflecting the inner movie you play in the silence of your mind. The moment you imagine something vividly enough to feel it real, you have set into motion the creative power that governs all things. Every scene you accept as true in imagination begins to crystallize into fact. The world doesn't respond to what you say, it responds to what you believe, and belief is simply imagination clothed in feeling. When you close your eyes and imagine holding that winning ticket, feeling its texture, hearing your name announced, watching the zeros line up in your bank account. If you can hold that scene with deep conviction, you have already claimed it in the unseen. Imagination is not bound by logic, probability, or circumstance. It is the power that shapes galaxies and breathes life into form. Think of the great inventions, the masterpieces, the revolutions that changed humanity. They all began as invisible pictures in someone's mind. Before the airplane flew, it existed in imagination. Before the skyscraper stood, it existed in imagination. And before your lottery win becomes visible, it must first live as a finished fact within you. The secret is to move from seeing it as something you want to seeing it as something you already have. There is a world within you that holds infinite versions of your life, and imagination is the key that opens any door you choose. Every time you visualize with genuine emotion, you are communicating with the infinite intelligence that designs your destiny. This inner power does not distinguish between what is real or imagined. It only acts upon what you accept as true. If you imagine scarcity, you attract lack. If you imagine abundance, you magnetize wealth. The law is neutral. You are the one who gives it direction. Most people unconsciously rehearse fear, worry, and doubt, then wonder why life reflects chaos back to them. But when you learn to discipline imagination, to dwell only on what you desire and ignore appearances, you begin to move from being a victim of chance to the master of creation. Understand this: your imagination is the creative center of the universe operating through you. It is divine power personalized. When you imagine with feeling, you are not asking the universe for something, you are declaring what already is. The moment you imagine, you are planting a seed in the soil of the subconscious mind. That seed will grow according to its nature and bear fruit in the outer world. You cannot plant one thing in imagination and reap another in life. If you plant the seed of wealth, abundance must appear. If you plant the seed of loss, struggle must follow. The soil of creation is perfectly faithful. It gives you what you believe in, not what you merely wish for. So tonight, I want you to test this power consciously. Go into your inner world and create a scene that implies your wish is already fulfilled. See yourself smiling, hearing the announcement, feeling the relief and joy of having won the lottery. Don't think about it happening. Think from the state of it already done. Let the scene feel alive. Breathe in the atmosphere of success. Hear the laughter of your loved ones. Let gratitude well up in your heart until it overflows. The more real it feels within, the faster it materializes without. The world outside must obey the command you give it in imagination. When you awaken to this truth, you will understand that imagination is not a weak tool for dreamers. It is the blueprint of destiny. The riches you seek, the opportunities you desire, the experiences you crave, all already exist in potential form, waiting for your imagination to call them forth. The outer world cannot resist the inner conviction of someone who knows. When you imagine yourself as the winner, when you feel that identity so deeply that it becomes natural, reality must conform. The numbers may shift, the odds may collapse, circumstances may rearrange, but your assumption will harden into fact. Do not be deceived by appearances. Even if the bank account seems empty or the ticket looks ordinary, the invisible process has already begun. The unseen is working to rearrange people, events, and opportunities to fulfill the scene you have accepted within. All you must do is persist. Continue to imagine and feel the joy of your fulfilled desire until it becomes your dominant state. You will notice subtle signs first: coincidences, synchronicities, a sudden idea, a dream, a feeling of certainty. These are whispers from the invisible world telling you that your imagination is taking shape. Remember, imagination is not bound by time. What you hold vividly in consciousness this very hour can materialize in the physical world with astonishing speed. When you know that your inner world is the only cause, you stop waiting and start creating. You stop asking, when will it come, and begin declaring, it is done. The outer manifestation is just the echo of your inner claim. Every miracle, every sudden breakthrough, every lucky win, they all follow the same laws. Imagination precedes creation. So as you listen now, release the idea of chance. Let go of struggle. Withdraw your attention from the evidence of lack and direct it toward the reality you choose. Enter the scene in imagination and dwell there as if it were real, because in truth, it already is. The world is a mirror reflecting your inner movie, and the moment you rewrite the story within, life begins to project a new version of you without. Imagination is the true cause, the silent architect of fate, and once you master it, the impossible becomes inevitable. Feeling is the secret door. Feeling is the invisible language through which you communicate with the creative power of the universe. Thoughts alone do not manifest. It is feeling that gives them life, shape, and substance. Every emotion you sustain is a vibration that sends a message to the unseen, announcing what you believe to be true. You may speak affirmations all day. You may visualize the winning numbers in perfect clarity. But if deep within you still feel unworthy, doubtful, or separate from your desire, you block its arrival. Feeling is the bridge between imagination and reality. It is the sacred energy that transforms the invisible thought into visible form. The instant you feel something as real, the subconscious accepts it as fact and begins to reproduce it in your outer world. The law is absolute. What you feel deeply, you attract unfailingly. When you think of the lottery, you must not think of it as a distant hope, but as a felt experience already achieved. The mind must be trained to feel the emotion of the wish fulfilled rather than the frustration of waiting. Every true manifestation begins with the inner emotional shift, from wanting to having, from hoping to knowing. That shift is everything. It's not the words you speak, but the energy behind them that creates. Feeling is the secret door through which all manifestations enter. When you open that door through genuine emotion, the invisible world rushes to meet you in perfect harmony. The moment you feel that something is yours, reality rearranges to prove you right. Ask yourself now, what does it feel like to have already won? Not what it looks like, not what it might bring you, but what it truly feels like in the core of your being. Is it relief? Is it excitement? Is it freedom? Is it gratitude? When you can summon that exact emotional state without any external evidence, you have activated the creative law. The universe does not respond to, I will have, it responds to, I am. The feeling of the wish fulfilled is the password that opens the vault of abundance. When you feel wealthy, wealth must come. When you feel loved, love must appear. When you feel free, all restrictions dissolve. This is the art of deliberate creation, not waiting for proof, but embodying the result before it arrives. Think of feeling as a magnet. Whatever emotion you sustain most consistently becomes the signal that draws matching experiences into your life. Joy attracts joy, fear attracts fear, gratitude attracts blessings, and resentment attracts struggle. You cannot cheat the law of feeling. It is precise and impersonal. It does not punish or reward. It simply reflects. That is why mastering your emotional state is more powerful than mastering circumstances. If you can learn to feel wealthy even when the world shows lack, you have mastered creation. The outer world will bend to the command of your inner state, for feeling is the substance from which all reality is woven. Now imagine this moment. You close your eyes and hold your breath for a few seconds. You see yourself holding the winning ticket, the lights flashing, your name being called. But you go deeper. You feel the weight of that moment, the rush of joy in your chest, the tears in your eyes, the laughter of disbelief that turns into gratitude. You feel it as if it is happening right now. That emotion is not a fantasy, it is a vibration. And vibrations are creative. When you reach that depth of feeling, the world outside no longer matters, for you are already living the result within. Soon enough, reality will catch up. Many people make the mistake of using feeling as a tool to get something. But the truth is, you must feel because it is your nature to create. You are not pretending, you are remembering. The feeling of abundance, joy, or success is not something you invent. It is something you awaken within yourself. That is why this practice is effortless once you surrender to it. The harder you try, the more you affirm its absence. The key is to relax into the feeling as though you are home, as though it has always belonged to you. You don't need to chase the manifestation. You need only to become the emotional version of it. Feeling is also your compass. It tells you whether you are aligned or misaligned with your desire. If you feel tension, worry, or strain, it means you are trying to force reality rather than flow with it. But if you feel peace, gratitude, and quiet certainty, you have stepped into alignment and creation is already complete. Feeling is your inner proof long before physical proof arrives. When you reach the point where you no longer crave the evidence because you already feel its truth, that is when it appears effortlessly. The lottery win, the abundance, the miracle, they are all drawn to the one who feels they already exist. The secret is to make feeling your daily practice. Wake each morning and feel abundance before you touch your phone. Walk as though you are already wealthy. Speak as though the money has already arrived. Let your body carry the posture of someone who knows their success is inevitable. This emotional rehearsal imprints the subconscious and commands the outer world to conform. Remember, the subconscious mind doesn't understand words. It only understands feeling. Every time you feel the emotion of success, you are giving the universe a new command. This is who I am now. Feeling is the golden thread connecting your inner world to your outer life. It is not a fleeting emotion, but a living frequency that shapes every event that follows. When you master the art of feeling, you no longer depend on luck or chance, for you understand that reality must reflect the vibration you radiate. This is why even a single powerful session of true feeling can collapse time and bring your desire within hours, even minutes. So tonight, close your eyes and surrender completely to the feeling of your fulfilled desire. Forget the how, forget the when, and simply feel. Let gratitude overflow, let peace wash over you, let joy rise from within as if the manifestation has already come. Because in truth, the moment you feel it real, it has come. The outer world is only waiting to catch up. Feeling is not the journey to your manifestation. It is the arrival. It is the secret door that opens when thought becomes emotion, when imagination turns into certainty, when belief transforms into being. And once you step through that door, you will never wait again. For you will have discovered the timeless truth that feeling is the only reality, and through it, everything you desire must come to you. Assume the state and rest in it. There is a sacred power hidden in the simple act of assumption, the ability to become the version of yourself who already possesses what you desire. To assume the state is to occupy the consciousness of your fulfilled wish and live from it, not toward it. Most people live in a state of waiting, hoping, and trying, but the one who truly understands creation knows that manifestation is not about effort. It is about being. The instant you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you have shifted realities. You are no longer chasing your desire. You are living within it. The lottery, the success, the abundance, it already exists in the invisible realm. To assume the state means to step into that invisible truth with unwavering conviction, to walk as though it is already done, to think, speak, and feel as the one who has already won. Assumption is the quiet act of faith that transcends logic. It does not beg, plead, or force. It simply is. When you assume, you declare to the universe that you are no longer seeking. You have found. This assumption becomes your new dwelling place. You no longer wake up as the person who wants to win the lottery. You wake up as the person who has won. You no longer wonder when it will happen, because in your consciousness, it already has. Every word you speak, every thought you think, every emotion you feel flows naturally from this new state of being. The outer world is powerless to resist such conviction. It must bend and conform to the image you hold within. Resting in the assumption means releasing the tension of wanting. You do not have to keep checking, questioning, or worrying about how it will unfold. When you rest in the feeling of already having it, you demonstrate absolute trust in the creative law. The subconscious mind works best in stillness. It manifests most powerfully when you have relaxed into the knowing that the unseen is already working for you. Just as a seed grows in silence once planted, your assumption matures in the quiet soil of faith. You do not dig it up to check its progress. You trust the process. When you assume the state and rest in it, you become immovable, serene, and magnetic. Many people make the mistake of oscillating between belief and doubt, between faith and fear. They assume for a moment, then return to the old state of lack, undoing their work. The key is persistence. The state you occupy most consistently is the one that hardens into fact. You must remain loyal to your assumption, even when the evidence contradicts it. The world may still show you signs of limitation, but do not be deceived. Appearances are always a reflection of your past assumptions. The present assumption is already rewriting the future. Hold your new state with calm confidence. When you assume long enough for it to feel natural, it must externalize, for reality can only mirror what you are being. Imagine this clearly. You sit in your room tonight, and instead of worrying about whether you will win, you quietly assume that you already have. You feel the weight of victory in your heart. You let gratitude fill your body. You imagine how peaceful it feels to know that your life has changed forever. You go to bed not as a dreamer, but as the fulfilled version of yourself. You drift into sleep as the winner. In that sacred moment of assumption, you have impressed the subconscious mind, and creation is set in motion. You may wake the next morning to a different energy in the air, a sense of calm certainty, a knowing that something has shifted. That is how you know the seed has taken root. To assume the state is to live from the end. It means to act, think, and respond as though the desire were already realized. If you truly believed you had already won, how would you speak? How would you carry yourself? How would you look at the world? Start being that person now. You do not wait for evidence to feel it. You feel it to create the evidence. The outer world is only a delayed reflection of the inner assumption. The one who assumes without doubt becomes the master of time itself, collapsing the distance between thought and manifestation. Resting in your assumption also means refusing to be disturbed by the old reality. You may still receive bills, face challenges, or see the same environment around you, but you no longer identify with it. You see it for what it is, a fading echo of an old state. You do not argue with appearances. You simply remain faithful to your new inner world. This is the discipline of the master creator. To rest in peace while the old dissolves and the new takes form. The more you can stay inwardly still and unmoved, the faster the transformation occurs. True assumption feels effortless. It carries no strain, no desperation, no waiting. It feels like coming home. You simply know that it is done. This knowing radiates through your energy, your words, your body language. People will begin to respond differently to you without understanding why. Opportunities will appear, coincidences will align, and what seemed impossible will become inevitable. You will begin to see how easily reality bends to the strength of an assumed identity. When you live this way, you stop chasing outcomes. You become the cause, not the effect. You stop trying to manifest money, you embody wealth. You stop trying to attract luck, you become luck itself. You realize that the law of assumption is not about getting things. It is about shifting who you are being. Once you assume the consciousness of your fulfilled desire, every part of creation moves to reflect it back to you. That is the law. That is the secret. So tonight, assume your wish fulfilled and rest in it. Stop worrying about when or how. The creative process is already complete. Your only task is to maintain the inner state of knowing that it is done. Walk in the feeling of it. Live as the version of you who already has it. The moment you do, the outer world will begin to mirror your new reality with astonishing precision. When you assume and rest in that assumption, you discover the highest form of creation, effortless manifestation through inner certainty. And when that certainty becomes your natural state, life can only echo it with abundance, ease, and miracles that defy every former limitation. Time bends to belief. Time is not the rigid, linear force we've been taught to believe in. It is elastic, flexible, and completely obedient to the conviction of your inner state. Most people live as prisoners of the clock, thinking that results take weeks, months, or even years to appear. But those who understand the deeper laws of consciousness know that time is not a barrier. It is a servant. The moment you fully accept something as real within, time rearranges itself to match that belief. What others call miracles are simply moments when inner certainty collapses the illusion of waiting. Time bends to belief because time itself is born from consciousness. When consciousness changes, time changes with it. Every event, every experience, every manifestation already exists in potential form. The delay between imagination and physical reality is not caused by the universe taking its time. It is caused by your belief in delay. You believe it takes a month, so it takes a month. You believe it might come tomorrow, so it remains tomorrow. The universe mirrors your concept of time just as faithfully as it mirrors your emotions. When you move into the feeling that your desire is already done, that it is yours now, you dissolve the need for time altogether. The physical world then rushes to meet you in this new frequency, bringing the result with supernatural speed. The world around you is not solid. It is a living projection of your assumptions. If you believe that manifestation must take time, the world will mirror that belief. But if you believe that manifestation can be instant, you'll begin to witness astonishing acceleration. The key is not to fight time, but to forget it. The mind that constantly watches the clock and waits for proof is still anchored in lack. The mind that knows it is already done transcends the boundaries of hours and days. When belief becomes absolute, time has no power. That is why manifestations can occur. in 1 hour. Not because time itself changes, but because your consciousness has moved beyond it. Imagine for a moment that you live in a world where everything responds instantly to your belief. When you assume wealth, money appears. When you assume love, love arrives. When you assume success, doors open. That world already exists. It is the inner world, where time is not linear but simultaneous. Every possible version of you already exists in this timeless field. You don't have to wait to become that version, you only have to tune into it through belief. The stronger your conviction, the faster you shift from one version of reality to another. This is why those who truly believe often experience constant manifestations. They have transcended the delay created by doubt. Doubt stretches time, faith collapses it. The more you question when it will happen, the further you push it away. The more you rest in the knowing that it is already done, the faster it arrives. Belief is not just mental agreement, it is emotional certainty. It is the feeling of peace, gratitude, and completion that radiates from within. When that feeling becomes dominant, you have already entered the state of your desire. Time then reorganizes itself to reflect your new identity. You may notice coincidences, sudden messages, unexpected opportunities. These are signs that reality is bending around your belief. You are not a victim of time, you are the creator of it. Every second is shaped by your state of being. When you say, "It will take time," you have declared a law for yourself. When you say, "It is already mine," you have declared another. The difference between waiting and receiving is only belief. To master time, you must stop giving it authority over your manifestations. Treat it as a tool, not a ruler. Time does not control creation, consciousness does. Time exists only to give structure to the unfolding of your assumptions. When you change your assumption, the timeline shifts immediately. Think of time as a canvas and your belief as the brush. You can paint a slow, distant manifestation or a sudden, immediate one. The choice is yours. The creative force that governs reality does not understand later or soon. It only knows now. If you imagine your desire as something that will come someday, that someday will remain forever in the future. But if you claim it as your truth now, time bends and compresses itself to deliver it. The secret lies in emotional ownership. Feel that it is already yours, that it has already happened, and you will find that the outer world has no choice but to obey that vibration. When you practice this, you begin to notice that everything accelerates. Things that once took months now take days. Things that took days now happen within hours. People start to say, "You're so lucky," or "Things always happen so fast for you." But it has nothing to do with luck. It is the natural result of mastering the illusion of time. You are no longer waiting for manifestations. You are existing in the state of them. You have become timeless. And when you live from timeless awareness, miracles become your normal rhythm. To experience this for yourself, spend a few moments each day feeling the end result as if it were already here. Say to yourself, "It has happened. It is done. I am living in it now." Feel the relief and gratitude that come with that realization. Let that emotion saturate every cell of your body. When you open your eyes, act as though it were true. Speak and think from the perspective of the fulfilled state. Time will adjust itself to meet your conviction. The universe will accelerate the sequence of events necessary to deliver what you have already claimed in consciousness. Understand this truth deeply. Time is a servant, not a master. It stretches or contracts according to your belief. It obeys the one who knows, not the one who waits. The difference between waiting an hour and waiting a year lies only in the strength of your conviction. When you stop measuring your progress and start embodying your result, manifestation becomes instantaneous. Time bends, reality shifts, and what once seemed impossible unfolds before your eyes. So release the need to calculate, to predict, or to wait. Step into the eternal now, where everything you desire already exists. Feel it, live it, and believe it completely. When your belief becomes stronger than your perception of time, the outer world will obey. The clock may say 1 hour, but consciousness knows no such limit. Time is not your obstacle, it is your canvas. And the moment you declare, "It is done," the universe rearranges itself to prove that you were right all along. Gratitude seals the manifestation. Gratitude is the final and most sacred step in the creative process. The invisible seal that locks your manifestation into form. It is not a mere act of politeness or positive thinking. It is the vibration of completion, the signal to the universe that the desire has been received. When you truly feel gratitude, you are declaring, "It is done." Gratitude is the language of fulfilled desire, the emotional signature of someone who no longer waits. It moves you from asking to knowing, from seeking to having, from lack to abundance. The heart that overflows with gratitude is a magnet for miracles, because gratitude aligns you with the vibration of divine certainty. You cannot be grateful and doubtful at the same time. The moment gratitude fills you, all fear dissolves, and manifestation begins to crystallize instantly. Think of gratitude as the energetic glue that binds the invisible to the visible. You may visualize, affirm, or imagine, but until you feel genuine gratitude, the creation remains incomplete. Gratitude is the final yes that tells creation to manifest your desire into the physical world. It is the inner announcement that what you asked for has already arrived. The beauty of gratitude is that it requires no external evidence. You can be grateful before the evidence appears, and that very act of thankfulness summons it into reality. This is how masters of manifestation move through life. They live in a constant state of thanksgiving, not for what is coming, but for what is. Gratitude makes every moment abundant because it refuses to acknowledge absence. It only sees fulfillment. When you wake up in the morning and say, "Thank you for my lottery win," you are not lying, you are claiming. You are aligning with the version of yourself who already has it. Gratitude creates harmony between your inner state and the infinite intelligence that responds to emotion. When you express genuine thankfulness, your subconscious mind assumes the manifestation has already taken place, and the outer world must follow. Gratitude is not the effect of manifestation, it is the cause. It is the invisible signal that triggers the unfolding of your desire. When you feel it fully, the universe has no choice but to mirror that emotion in physical form. Many people delay gratitude until they see proof. They say, "I'll be grateful when I win," or "I'll be thankful when I see the money." But that is the very attitude that delays the miracle. Waiting for evidence keeps you in the vibration of waiting. Creation responds not to your words, but to your state. If your state says, "Not yet," reality will echo, "Not yet." But when your state says, "Thank you, it is done," reality echoes, "Done." Gratitude transcends logic and time. It is an emotional shortcut to manifestation because it bypasses the mental noise of doubt. When you are sincerely grateful, you are already living in the fulfilled end, and the world cannot resist aligning with that energy. True gratitude is not mechanical. It is not about repeating phrases or writing lists without feeling. It is about entering a state of heartfelt appreciation that transforms your inner world. To be grateful is to recognize that all power already resides within you, that the universe is friendly, and that everything is unfolding perfectly for your good. Gratitude turns ordinary moments into miracles. When you walk with a grateful heart, life rushes to match your vibration. People treat you differently. Opportunities find you effortlessly. Even challenges dissolve because gratitude refuses to energize negativity. Gratitude does not fight, it elevates. It lifts your consciousness to a plane where problems cannot exist. Imagine yourself in the moment after your manifestation. The call confirming your win, the balance glowing on your account, the laughter of joy in your home. What is the first emotion you would feel? Gratitude. That surge of relief, love, and awe is the same energy you must embody now. Feel that gratitude before the evidence appears, and you bring the future into the present. The subconscious mind cannot distinguish between what is imagined and what is real. It responds to the emotional frequency alone. When you generate the feeling of gratitude now, the outer world must create the situation that justifies it. That is the secret behind all instant manifestations. Gratitude also keeps your vibration pure. It prevents the mind from slipping back into fear or impatience. When you thank the universe for what you already have, seen or unseen, you anchor yourself in abundance. Gratitude is the antidote to worry. It transforms waiting into celebration. Even if nothing seems to have changed yet, gratitude assures you that the process is unfolding perfectly. It says, "I trust the unseen. I know it is done." That confidence accelerates manifestation because the energy of gratitude is the same as the energy of fulfillment. Gratitude doesn't chase, it attracts. It doesn't demand, it receives. It is the resting place of the Creator. Every great manifestation practice, no matter how complex, always ends in gratitude. Because gratitude is the frequency of completion. You may imagine vividly, affirm passionately, or visualize repeatedly. But gratitude is what sends the final command to creation, make it so. When you feel thankful, you align with divine intelligence itself. You become one with the creative power that formed the universe. Gratitude is not about thanking something outside of you. It is about recognizing that the power that creates worlds lives within you and is already at work. So begin and end each day with gratitude. As you wake, whisper, "Thank you. It is done." As you fall asleep, imagine your wish fulfilled and say, "Thank you." Let that feeling wrap around you like warmth. Even if nothing visible has appeared yet, know that the moment you feel genuine gratitude, the unseen world has already responded. You have sealed your manifestation in the timeless realm, and soon the physical will catch up. Gratitude is the vibration of mastery. It is the energy of those who no longer chase their desires because they know their desires are already theirs. It completes the cycle of creation. desire, imagination, feeling, assumption, and finally, gratitude. Gratitude is the crown that finishes the masterpiece. It is the amen of manifestation. When you reach the point where your heart says, thank you, even before your eyes see it, you have already won. The lottery, the wealth, the freedom, they are simply reflections of that inner thanksgiving. Gratitude seals the manifestation because gratitude is the evidence of belief. And once belief is complete, reality cannot help but obey.